anyway. But yeah, I've got a
Perfect.
little glass of wine because I'm going to
Ooh,
Arctangent tomorrow. So
lovely. I have
yeah,
a water out of a super cup I got from Primavera Porto.
lovely.
I have a Pepsi Diet,
Diet Pepsi,
Mm.
the one and
lovely.
only,
Addison
the one
Ray.
and only Addison Ray. Addison
Okay.
Ray.
Who are you? Who's your top five Arctangent excited? Most excited people to see at Arctangent. That's what I wrote.
Well, between the Bone and Me, they're playing Colours in Full, which is one of my
Right.
favourites
Yeah.
of all
I've
time.
been told by someone that I actually need to listen to between
Oh,
both because I never have.
I thought you were going to spoil a set list or something. Well, you couldn't spoil that set list, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard.
Mm,
it is it's brilliant.
I need to give them a proper listen at some point.
Yeah,
mm.
and I actually got their new album today as a promo, so I'm saving
Sick.
that for the airport tomorrow.
Hello.
Nice. Come on.
Car Bomb,
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll
of
be
course.
fucking fiendish.
Of
yes.
course.
We Lost the Sea.
I don't know them.
Oh, magical Australian instrumental post metal rock, whatever.
How very Arctangent.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Arctangent. Like
Yeah.
um, a band called Low, Lo exclamation mark. They're from Australia as well.
Okay.
Um,
Nice.
Huge
Nice.
year for Australian Tangent.
oh yeah. Who
Oz
else?
tangent.
Oz Tangent, that's much better.
Love it, love it. Who else is playing? Master Actor, always good time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Frontiera.
yeah, very
Yeah. They're gonna
excited.
be they'll be
I
sick.
want to
They'll
get
be
a band
sick.
I've never seen live, but finally we'll be able to on the Conjurer tour. No, the Hearst Collective tour.
Yeah, has collective tour.
They're playing Corefest before
Yeah.
we play,
Where's
which
that?
Yeah.
in Scotland.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
On our day, it's like us, Hearst Collective, Cave In, Frontiera. It's
Yeah.
Cave In.
Agriculture. It's
agriculture.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's gonna
Orbit
be nuts.
Culture.
That
Agriculture.
agriculture.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Orbit culture would be mad.
Shit. Cave In. Cave In. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Cave in is gonna be just nuts. It's funny because I think we finish and then it's like straight after we finish, then on the main stage, Cave in starts. So our pack down is gonna have to be the
Rapid.
quickest pack
Literally,
down we've
like just
ever
throwing
done.
it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the last day of tour, so quite frankly, if all the stuff is just going straight out the door, not in cases, fine.
Well, I think
Fine.
last day of tour, you just have to smash it up
And
on
we're the
stage.
last band on that
Yeah,
stage.
exactly.
So truly, doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, yeah. Does not matter at all.
Doesn't matter.
But I cannot wait. I've wanted to see Cave In for such a long time. And I feel like
We saw them at Arctangent, didn't we?
I saw like a bit
Yeah.
that wasn't I'm talking like
You on peak. I
I
think
want
you were also
peak.
quite stoned at that point. I don't think you were
Yeah,
quite
of course it was.
for peak
Yeah.
cave and enjoyment.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
100%.
glad.
But yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I'm gutted I'm not at Arctangent. I always do
Mm,
it. I always do a bit of a, oh, it's not enough. And then I see everyone go, oh, for fuck's sake. I did the same with trees this year as well. I was like, I
mhm.
can't, I need to work and earn money. But
Did you do trees?
no, because I had to work and earn money.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um, even though the guys in Eyes were like, oh, come and do like guest vocals and we'll get you a ticket in. I was like, that sounds so nice, but I literally don't even have like the time nor money to just like get hot like a train to
Mhm,
Bristol. Like,
mhm.
no, not even Bristol, Cheltenham.
Cheltenham, yeah.
Cheltenham. So like,
yeah.
even more like not
Mhm.
ideal. But hey ho, you're gonna have a great time. Very jealous of you.
Yeah.
Very jealous.
I have to be up at 4:30 tomorrow morning to get my flight. So,
Nice. You're
uh,
flying into Bristol.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. See, this is the
Oh,
thing. I recently moved to Bristol, and
Oh,
so now I'm like, it's a 25-minute drive from where I am, and I'm not going.
well,
because you hate live music.
you could have
Yeah.
picked me up from the airport.
Well, I mean, what time are you going to be there? Half four?
Oh,
Oh, that's
8:30. You won't even be getting up then.
half eight. Yeah, yeah,
You rock stars are probably
I'm putting up some shelves then
just going to
actually.
bed.
yeah, yeah. That's in the 2 hour window where it's acceptable for rock stars to sleep, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But you guys, like, you're talking. Sorry, I'm trying to speak. Harry, you're talking about like,
It was a good attempt of a segue. That was a really
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's-
Actually, do you know what? I think you guys are up there with the band we've interviewed the most on Heavy Matters.
Yeah,
certainly,
sick.
because
Perfect.
this is the
Okay.
second time we've done it virtually, and then
Yeah.
we did it at Arctangent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you're up there with the
Yeah.
possibly leaderboard.
Get
Perfect.
that board up.
Perfect.
Get
I,
that board.
I, I have to admit, like when I got the promo from Sammy, uh,
Mhm.
what are they called? Since Always, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since always.
Um, I was getting a bit excited. Then I was like, oh, I sent a video to Harry. And I was like, I've got to chat to the lads because,
Yeah.
to be honest, it just feels like we're some mates just catching up.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
Too right.
oh,
I
Too
remember,
right.
honestly, that message was so lovely to get from you because that shift was really boring.
was it?
It was a really nice, like, oh yeah, and it made me excited for like this, like to do like for like the stuff to start coming out because that was
Yeah.
just when Church Kid just come out, or was it just before?
Might have been just before, I think, when you first maybe said something to me. I can't
Maybe just
remember.
before. But I
The
was like,
last few
oh,
weeks have been
this is
mad.
like a good first reaction from someone who isn't like my partner who I've shown, or George,
Yeah.
Oh,
or like
really?
my
Yeah.
parents who don't really care,
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
brother who
yeah,
cares a bit, but like he's hard
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
like actual feedback out of. Like this is the first
Yeah.
person. Like this is good feedback. This is what
I,
I've needed. We've had a lot of time to be like, we hope people like this. So that was a good.
Yeah.
it was so good. Like I listened to
Mm.
it. Like it's only about what? It's less than 10 minutes, I say. The whole
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
think you
seven
think about that.
minutes.
yeah.
Something like that. Mad.
But it's so angry and heavy. I said
Hmm.
to Harry, like, do you know, Gardens of Flowers, like I absolutely loved. But this
Hmm.
is like next, like fucking
Thank you.
hell, like
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, it feels like that on our side, I think, as well. And with what Harry's saying about we really didn't, and I think we've done this a lot more on the previous releases, but we didn't really show people. We kind of told people what we were working on, and there was something coming, and but we kept a lot of the cards close to our chest. And I think it's made the rollout so far and people's reaction really exciting on our side because we've it's like you've bought someone a really good Christmas present and you want to tell them but you can't tell them, and finally it's that moment
yeah,
and
yeah.
seeing the people be so excited and happy about the new music is just it's awesome. It's so awesome. It's made the wait to get to this so much more worth it.
It,
100%.
it's just like it has that sort of Dillinger undertow feel to it,
Hmm.
like the panic chords in there, like the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
100%.
what I loved at the on the last track, which is it's the title track.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That breakdown at the end is just it
Yeah,
was so left field, like, but in an amazing way because
Thank you.
yeah.
I just wasn't
That's
expecting it.
awesome.
Well,
That's awesome.
we just wanted to like. I think we went into like. So the background of this thing
Yeah,
is
please.
that I had written originally the artwork came first. We were on a train and I was like, I've got this idea for artwork, like a pink
Hmm.
triangle with like worms in it. I think that'd be really cool. You
Hmm.
know, okay, cool. That like we could do that at some point. And then I was like going for a real like songwriting drought, and then I wrote what became Kill with Kindness as the first track, or like this first thing in ages. I'm like, holy shit, this is a really intense all over the shop. It's more pupil slicery than Death Goals
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
many ways. I was
Yeah.
like, cool, that's fine. That I'll just shelve that,
Hmm.
and I'll at some point I'll put that on like a SoundCloud thing for myself or whatever.
Hmm.
And then we started writing stuff, and I was like, I've got loads of really heavy
Hmm.
bits I want to write, and we were doing more like writing at George's like every Wednesday because we at that point we still lived like down the road from each other,
Yeah.
and we just started forming more ideas and getting just like pushing our actual songwriting and playing.
Yeah.
Like we're like, okay, these are hard. Usually we go, okay, this thing's hard, we'll dumb it down or we'll
Yeah.
streamline it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was actually nice to sort of look at parts and go, well, why don't we try and make that more difficult? Why
Yeah.
don't we try and
Yeah.
push ourselves?
Yeah.
Um, Same with then the lyrical stuff and making it a more um, articulated and pointed, uh,
Hmm.
deliberately pointed sort of record, not just being like a general feeling of
Yeah.
angst
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
usual stuff we write about, but like a really pointed, focused, queer record about survival, about the ongoing atrocities, about infighting within our community, without
Yeah.
just the general on what's come of it, I think, is some of our best songwriting, some of our best
Hmm.
performances we've ever done. Like
Hmm.
it has to be high. Like, George has fucking done amazing drums, like
Thank you.
ridiculous bits. Like the amount of work you put into it is ridiculous. So it
Yeah.
sounds so fucking good. And once again, nice to like record like with Tom, and that was like to go back and have that sort of like we done the first two records. We then had a bit of time away from Tom just for like trying different flavors of people. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
we loved working with Dom, and it was so fucking cool. But like to go back to Tom and have that like grounded, we know what we're doing. He
Hmm.
knows how to push us, and he did
Yeah.
push us, and it meant we
Yeah.
just got these awesome songs out of it, and got to like explore just like actual really hard like hardcore breakdowns. Like we
Yeah.
usually do
Hmm.
disco stuff, but having
Yeah.
like real proper like hardcore breakdown bits, or like having like the noise track, the interlude thing, and that's the thing we're really keen on, and we want to do like
Hmm.
more stuff of these like
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
like
100%.
we've got some stuff in the back pocket where I've been fucking around with some real heinous
Yeah.
noises.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool. Like it's a cool thing to just continue expanding the Deaf Girls palette. We never like
Yeah.
sit on one like sound for too long. We have the staples, the usual uh paints or like pencils that we like to use to create Deaf
Yeah.
Girls, but like it's nice to have a few new shades and
Yeah.
things.
It's funny you say that, Harry, because when you were talking there, I was thinking um, that Death Goals, this feels to me like you've just got 50 tins of paint and just lashed it against the wall
Yeah.
and gone, if it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
just
mean, yeah, pretty
like,
much. Pretty
I mean,
much.
I would argue that is what to me that's what Garden felt like.
right.
Garden
Hmm.
felt like throwing a lot of things at a wall,
Yeah.
and some things stuck and some things ran off and left a bit of a mess. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
like hindsight. We've done a lot of reflecting on that album, and like there's
Yeah, I'm
some
sure from the outside looking in,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that it's definitely the case in a way that and the one thing that is very similar to this, and I mean will be similar to for everything that we do as a band, is that we will always be creative and experiment. There's nothing, and with what Harry was saying about the fact that we spent a lot more time on the writing process and pushing ourselves with this, I think what comes with that is a realization that actually you don't have to sit within a status quo at all. And the more things you try, there was never, I mean, there was some things that we've written, maybe not as a contender to go on this, but we've written things and we've got to the end of a writing session and gone, "Well, we're not going to use that. It will go in the folder that we have and it'll be fine." But being able to have those moments where we spend an entire evening writing a song that sounds like Deftones and then going, well, we're obviously never going to put a song out that sounds like Deftones. But
it's
being
good
able
to
to
get
have
it,
that experience,
and it's
yeah, it
good to
gets out
just
your
get that
system.
stuff out.
Exactly,
You can,
exactly.
or you might come across something and that go like, oh, what's a really good? So the chorus on Survival was a thing
Hmm.
that we had done like 2 days worth of like
Hmm.
messing around on, and then I
Yeah,
took the whole thing and then just rewrote it. But
yeah,
I took
yeah.
like I really like that drum beat because it's a weird drum beat that George has thought of that isn't like a normal drum beat
yeah.
that I
Yeah,
wrote like
yeah.
program and like
Hmm.
taking stuff like having that flexibility of like use like writing in a DAW and like being able to chop and change and like oh maybe if we put this section here and just experimenting
Hmm.
more. It's been very
Yeah,
beneficial, I think.
Do you
yeah,
think
massively.
it's gonna this style that you've done on the EP? Do you think this is gonna sort of carry on to? I know you were saying you like to, and look at the same time as well. Music evolves so much
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
I always bring it back to Imperial Triumphant, bringing in
yeah.
brass and saxophone
Hmm.
like into Black
Yeah, yeah,
Metal. It's
yeah,
just like
yeah,
I told you we talk about black metal, George.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Too damn right.
No, but like they are evolving and like bands bringing different things, and it's always interesting and good for a band such as yourselves to have this back
Mhm.
catalogue of things to draw upon.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah,
100%.
suppose at the same time for you guys as musicians to keep you interested in like your live sets and not
yeah,
the same thing.
That's 100% the main
yeah.
reason for it. Like I'm terrible at keeping to a style or like not wanting to change stuff up. If anyone who's seen us live knows I don't like playing the songs how they're supposed to be played. I get bored and I get
or standing on the stage for a long
or standing on the
Yeah,
stage.
yeah, standing on the stage.
I just get bored and like you see so many bands where like you could be like pick 8 songs from their discography and they all sound like they're from the same like
Yeah.
that could be a 20-year span.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's always room to experiment. I mean, even last night, so we went to see the Fall of Troy last night,
Mhm.
like Bone Flower and Meth. I left that crazy inspired by what Bone Flower was doing, with, like the post rock stuff. Would that necessarily work? Probably not, but I want to give that a go. Like, using more
100%.
like the synth stuff that I've been messing around with and stuff. That probably isn't going to work in like a live setting, but for like interludes and stuff, that's a cool idea to be able to like work with. Like,
Yeah.
leading into more like black metal and like just straight up hardcore stuff is cool to like sample everything because it's all going through the Death Goals filter. It's all going to sound like us regardless.
Yeah.
So keep changing, keep
and
finding stuff.
And I think, it's funny actually that you mentioned black metal and hardcore there, because I think people will listen to this EP when it comes out, and I think a lot of people already understand that we will do what we want to do, and that is the way it's going to go. But I think this is the first real collective bit of music from us that will make people realize that at the end of the day, we are going to do a black metal section, and we are going to get Harry from Burner to come on and do horrible vocals over a blast beat section, and then the song afterwards we're going to get Jenna from Hers to come and do it in a real queercore track, and then 2 songs after that it's a mosh track. Like, we are not going to stick within any realm or genre, because as Harry perfectly put it, no matter what we do, it goes through the Death Goals filter, and we make it.
Yeah,
exactly.
And to be fair, like, you could argue you could be pigeonholed in a certain genre, but there's so many genres in metal that it just gets exhausting. Like, but I think like, you've almost created your own genre in a way.
Yeah,
it feels like we're trying to do that. Yeah, and I think that's the thing I really like about that is the fact that that's all I really want bands to do. Like, I would much rather that every band sounded entirely different and they sounded exactly like how they wanted to sound, rather than they sound in a way because they want to say they're a hardcore band, or they sound a certain way because they want to say they're a metalcore band. Like, the only people putting genres on these things is us. It's, it doesn't, if I go into a record shop and I pick a record up, it doesn't say across the middle of it what the genre is. It's for me to interpret that. There's, we could all sit here and listen to a band and interpret what the actual genre of it is in a completely different way. And I think pigeonholing yourself into that doesn't allow you as a musician to make music. It allows you to copy, and it allows you to do an interpretation of what you think people are going to want to hear. But if we all made music for what people wanted to hear, I don't think half of us would make music anymore.
Exactly. And that's where all the coolest like bands look at, like an Agriculture, for example. We've mentioned before, like they're doing their own brand of like black metal thing. Like Death Heaven, when they first came out, obviously they were doing the Black Gaze thing, but like that was Loath were doing they weren't just doing a Deftones rip, they did their own flavor, and now you have a million bands that copy Loath. Like, that's always the way. Be that band that is breaking ground that everyone can rip off. Then if you're going to do anything, do that. That's more fun.
Yeah 100%.
Definitely. And the I got the spiel, I call it the spiel, from the email about the essence of the record, basically. So it was 2024, and what struck me was it's a real-time response to the ever-growing hatred and persecution of the queer community. Now, as an outsider looking in, not being, how do I word this? I'm not anti the community, but I don't consider myself in the community, if you know what I mean. I'm not
you're an ally.
I'm an ally, I'm not on the ground sort of knowing the ins and outs like you were saying. What was in this 2024 that, because to be honest with you, it always seems in this community it's one step forward, two steps back. Like
Yep. Yeah.
like we're in 2025 now.
Mhm.
Time has moved on.
Mhm.
You know, the way I look at it, and you can take it or leave it, is
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone else is doing
Mhm.
as long as it's not illegal. Like
Yeah.
whatever you do in your own time, it's fine, and that's the way it
Yeah.
should be. But
Mhm.
it just it's everything like racism still rife and all this stuff. And I'm just interested to know that what the response was, your response was to,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Oh, go on. You
it,
go ahead.
it's when we started writing songs from a queer perspective, I thought the first like reign of Trump was the worst it was going to get. And
Mhm.
that was a massively privileged and probably short-sighted view from my own part. Like, well, this is bad. Like he wants conversion camps to be more a thing again. He wants X, Y, and Z to be a thing again, but that won't happen. And then it has, and then it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
And trans people are being, I mean, continuously persecuted. I just saw a thing today that he's putting forward an order to potentially reverse gay marriage in America.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's like all of the worst fears that we've had, and we've been telling allies, and we've been telling everyone is going to happen,
Mhm.
are happening.
Yeah.
So we had to write these songs to help ourselves process this, but also to be a statement that just us as queer people surviving, which
Mhm.
is not a right we are being allowed, not
Yeah.
anything we're given. It's not a
Mhm.
privilege.
Yeah.
That is an act of defiance to these groups that are coming in power, that are constantly building in confidence. You see it in the UK. You're seeing it everywhere. It's not just that, oh wow, isn't Trump wild? What's he going to say
Mhm.
next? It is happening on our doorstep. And
Mhm.
I mean, so even a welcome turn is a direct look at the queer community on itself of
Yeah.
white gay men going, well, we've done our fighting. We did all of our protesting. So why I don't get the whole trans thing. I don't get why this
Mhm.
you've got trans exclusionary lesbian groups.
Mhm.
Like they are not just coming for trans people, they're coming for all of us. They're coming for all minority groups. They are
Mhm.
going to come for our disabled brothers and sisters. They're going to come for fucking all of us. It
Mhm.
is solidarity. It is community now more than ever. It is
Mhm.
fucking ICE. It is fucking everyone. They are
Yeah.
coming for us all, and we need to fucking stand. That's what these songs are for.
Yeah.
They're no longer laying down and going, oh, well, I kissed a boy once, and that was a nice story, wasn't it? And oh, man, this is an anthem for the end of the world. It is fucking Jesus Christ. We are just lucky to be alive and to be allowed,
Yeah.
thoroughly allowed to be alive. We
Yeah.
have to fight for everyone.
Do you
Everyone.
see?
Yeah.
Do you see or feel that it is regressing?
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
Really?
I
If,
to
if
jump in.
I, sorry, George, if
No,
I,
go on.
as a white cis passing queer person, feel concerned about going out in a crop top and like a little
Mhm.
fruity badge currently, how the I can mask my fucking queerness. I
Yeah.
can hide
Mhm.
this. I don't need to paint my nails and I don't need to wear makeup and I don't need to do this to feel um, a sense of belonging in the skin that I'm in. If you're a trans
Mhm.
woman or a trans man or a very outwardly queer non-binary person or a person of color or anything, you are massively under threat.
Mhm.
It's just become commonplace that you're
Yeah.
going to get attacked. You are going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
I've got so many friends every day who are posting on the Instagram story, got screamed at by a woman in Tesco's today, got screamed at
Mhm.
by kids on a bus today. Like
Mhm.
people are no longer it's no longer the fucking like dodgy uncle at Christmas who has like
Yeah.
two fucking drinks and then starts going
Yeah.
whatever. It's blatant.
Yeah.
It's the fucking rise of Labour and the Tories. There's no political party currently, apart from maybe the one that Jeremy Corbyn is doing, but will I'll believe that when I see
Yeah.
proof. Like,
Yeah.
why we trust a politician? None of them have our fucking backs.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
allowing UKIP to rise. They're allowing all of these. You see the guy, they're arrested those Palestinian um, protesters, and
Yeah.
then there's a UKIP head guy doing like Nazi salutes, and they're like, "Oh, he's fine though."
Yeah.
Uh,
We
It's
have
it's that
progressed.
it's that
Like,
normalization. It's the normalization that when you look at the news and the headline is talking about uh, this MP has said that we should, you know, we should go back to the conversation about trans people using bathrooms. It's when you see the headline and it's, this minority group is being persecuted for this fucking thing, and it's like, whether it's queer people, whether it's allies, we should all be looking at this going, this is wrong. This is actually wrong. Where in the last few years did we go so wrong with what we were doing? Because, we, myself and Harry have grown up as queer people, and I don't want to speak for you on this, Harry, but I've never felt the threat against this community in the way that I do now.
wow.
And I don't, the worst part is that I can't identify where it started. It's almost like we got to the point where we were doing slightly okay. Things weren't great, but we were doing okay and we were starting to move in the right direction. And then it has just spun out. And it now feels, it feels, and I think going back to, why we wrote the entire record about it is because it just feels so personal, and it's every day. It's every day having that feeling of, you look at the news or you look at social media and you're expecting to see someone say that they've been attacked, or you're expecting someone to have an opinion. You're expecting some incredibly wealthy, not really actually good at their job politician thinking that they can have an opinion on trans people. But why? Why do you think that you are owed an opinion on trans people when you are uneducated about the matter and you don't actually care about people's
Yeah.
well-being? When they're talking about, you know, trans people, gay people, black people, whoever it is, it's always aggression. It's always aggression about minority groups, and you have to sit there and go, but what are we doing wrong?
Mhm.
All we're going to the shop. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry that we went to Sainsbury's. Like, what do you want out of us? What answers? We can't give any answers as to why we are the way that we are. That's how we are as people, and we should be allowed to celebrate that and allowed to feel comfortable and normal within our society without having to constantly look around us and be faced with the horrors of it. The world is shit as it is. The world is full of horrible people and horrible things happening constantly at the hands of government and at the hands of fascist groups. As a community, as a society, our only actual task should be looking after each other. Why are people so ready and able to look at what the government is saying and go, yeah, that sounds about right. I think I should hate trans people. I think I should hate queer people because the government, who I already don't support, is telling me that I need to do that. It's so, and making and writing this record, as Harry perfectly put it, it's for us. It's for us as much as it is the rest of our community. It's not. It's mad to think that a thing that you can't help is something that someone hates about you.
Mm.
Like, that is, they don't know us. They've got
Yeah.
no idea about any of us.
And you know
It's
what?
mad.
I genuinely feel, or don't know, feel sorry or apologize, like how
No, it's
you must feel, because it's easy for me to sit here as a straight man,
Mhm,
and I don't have to worry if I go out. I don't have to worry about those sort of things.
mhm.
And it's horrible that
I think there's scales to that though. I think that there's, we can sit here and the conversation between the three of us, right, is two queer people talking to yourself who you identify as straight. But we're in the sphere of the UK where things are shit, but it's far worse in other places, and it's so easy to get caught up in maybe not the smaller picture, but there's almost a scale of, well, it's shit for us, but there are queer siblings who it's worse for them, and we have to, in the position that we are in, the fortunate position where we can mask these things about ourselves and we can pass if needed. Well, we need to be doing this for people who can't. And we need to be doing it for people who don't want to. I mean, we don't want to, but we need to do it for people who, for them, their identity and being able to be who they feel comfortable being is a matter of life and death. And that is the most important thing that I think can come out of this record is being able to, even just at the title, being able to look at the title and go, this is about survival. And survival is not about doing something to spite someone. It's about being alive. And it's about being alive and loving yourself and caring for yourself and having your own back when a large amount of people will not.
Yeah.
Like that's the we're obviously very passionate about this subject.
Oh yeah. You've touched on it. We might go in a bit more detail in a minute on this.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out for me on the record is the first track, Harry, and the lyrics. I might get this slightly wrong, but is it "Your God doesn't love you"? Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Can you because I have a theory about what the meaning behind that was, but if you wouldn't mind just explaining where that came from.
I mean, it's a cheap pop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cheap pop. People who base their hatred in religion in the conglomerate that is ruling, and just saying, God, there is a God, whichever one you believe in, for the acts that you and the views that you have, he doesn't love you. He doesn't idolize you. He doesn't think you're a good soul. You are a hateful human being, and if there is an afterlife, you will not be going to heaven.
Okay.
Yeah.
100%. Like
simple. Using religion for evil has just been an ongoing. I mean,
and that was sort of like when you were talking there, George. Like, in this day and age, it's becoming harder. But I think, like, if you took the Bible, okay, and I'm an atheist now, so if you took the Bible, I think one of the commandments is you should not sleep with another man or some sex, right? So if you took that back from the 70s up to, I mean, let's be honest, religion is sort of dying out now. So there's no one really following that Bible. What you've got after that is bigots, basically, and people who are uneducated and who are looking online.
Isn't that whole bit, thou shalt not lay with another man, but it's in the context, it's like laying with a child. It's not being a paedophile. It's nothing to do with laying with another man, to my knowledge.
As I said, I don't study it.
I've never read the book either. I've just seen a lot of videos where, like,
I've just seen the movie.
I've just seen the movie. I've seen a lot of people explaining that verse and being like, "That's not what this means here."
Yeah.
And it's once again weaponizing.
But okay. But even if you took that though, so let's. If that is what the thing is, Harry, don't go with child, fine. But even in the Bible, it's like same-sex marriage. So will you get up to a point where there was a vote in Ireland not long ago where that was approved, England, etc., etc. Once you get past that, then it's just purely hatred online. And I see it online, and some of it is laughable. You just know, like, the comments are just stupid. But what my point was, there was a very good joke by a comedian. I won't say the name because I don't want to. He doesn't need my sponsorship. But it was a fundamentalist Christian from America having a go at gay people. saying, you know, you shouldn't be this. And they said it's funny how they love the fetus. You know, don't kill the fetus. They love it when it's born, all the way up to it turns gay, and then doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid things like that. Like, people
but
are just.
That's such a. I mean, that's almost like such a way to summarize how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah.
And how it doesn't. I mean, I'm completely in agreement. I think that the role and the place of religion in modern society has definitely changed. And I think us approaching the idea of talking about it, because obviously when we were writing the track, and I mean, we had probably a brief discussion, probably not a very big one, but a brief discussion of what, you know, us saying this, us using a line as poignant as that, is this really the direction? And I guess what comes out of that is, well, would someone on the other side of the fence hold back on us? Probably not. They haven't in history. So
we're also not hating on anyone who is religious. We have lots of
no.
Like, or if you have a belief system that makes you feel comfort in a world which is terrifying and an existence which is endless, go for it. I wish I could have that. But people have weaponized religion for years in persecution of many people. So I'm also going to spit back at you that your God probably doesn't love you.
Oh,
yeah, 100%.
All's fair
in love and, well, probably
of
not best. Anyway, let's bring us out of this. We've gone too deep. Let's bring it up the other side, shall we? Let's get the positive vibes back. So it's an EP. The Garden's was released on Prosthetic.
Yeah.
Have you stuff in the works for 26? Have you started, or what's the plan?
We've got a lot of things in ovens.
Yeah.
We've got a little thing we've worked on with some friends.
Yeah.
We have 2 things that we're working on with friends, which are fun. We have
as part of Death Goals, sorry, or separate?
As part of Death Goals.
Yeah, as part of Death Goals. Yeah.
We have an album that we're working on, but with no real idea of when that might. We're doing side quests currently.
Yeah, we're doing side quests.
Side quests, bits and bobs. I want to do a few more splits.
Okay.
Because I really want to play out the one with Dreamwell, and there's a lot of cool bands I want to do. Cool stuff with. An album can wait. No one's in any.
And I think that's why
currently.
I think that's why we kind of chose to do an EP at this point, because I mean, you know, if you, and this is no slight to our peers, but if you compared us to another band that we sit within the realms of, like, a lot of our friends are on the first album, and we've done 2, a split, singles, and it's like, when we were trying to think about what we did, the songs that we have for Survival felt right to be their own little thing, and it didn't feel like that could go in any, you know, I don't think there was ever a point where we went, let's try and do an entire album of this. It was, this needs to have, it had the purpose and the intent of it, and the music was then formed around that. And when we had the tracks that are on the EP, we kind of knew. And then everything that we're working on at the moment is just, it sounds weird to say it like this, but it's kind of like we're just working on stuff for fun. You know, it's not, there's no, I think we're kind of out of the idea of there being an expectation for us to release a record. You know, we'll drop this, and then things will drop when and as they drop. We'll work on things.
But also, we're not on a label, so we don't.
Yeah, we are.
That was going to be my next. This is self-release, so
we've got. There's no expectation. There's no one sort of asking us for like an album.
And what's your thoughts on the EP format compared to albums? Because
real panicked about what that next question was going to be.
Sorry?
Really worried about where that question was going to go for a second. What's your thoughts? And I was like,
I'll ask that off camera.
Yeah.
No, the EP versus album, because there's a lot to be said about this EP, for example. latest one.
Mhm.
I think if you had an album of that, and this is no disrespect, that my ears would be bleeding at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
agree.
intensity of it.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
but on the other side, you potentially, and again, it depends how fast you work, but you could do an EP every 6 months because of,
Oh, we definitely could.
you know,
There's
and I'm
no
just
doubt about that.
there's an appetite. Some people want an EP, some for an
Yeah.
album. I think albums at times can be dragged out for the sake of it to try and
Yeah.
fill that second side of the record, you know?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I'm very pro EP.
Yeah.
Arguably, if George hadn't joined Death Goals, we probably wouldn't have done any albums.
No.
George
No.
pushed to make an album. That's what Horrible became. Like,
St. George.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I know. Foolish.
like
Foolish.
they have their parts and their points. I mean, we have an album basically 90% written.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but we're happy to just like sit on it for a bit and keep fine tuning it because it's good, and we don't want to just
It's
like
great.
it's great, it's
Yeah.
really cool, but we don't want to throw
I'll
it.
be the judge of that.
And
Yeah.
you'll fucking dig. Let me tell you that for nothing.
Yeah, you'll dig big time.
But like I really, yeah, you're right. I think if we'd done like 10 tracks of this sort of stuff, I feel like it could have gotten quite repetitive, or we would have run out of like not things to say, but I feel like it run its course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think realistically four
Yeah.
really punchy, gnarly songs, and then
Yeah.
one really nasty interlude.
Yeah.
I think it does what it needs to, and it's one of the proudest things I've done in Death Box.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's one of the best
amazing.
we've
It's
done.
amazing.
Yeah. And I think as well, when it comes down to like the EP and album, you know, we are a very, and it's maybe only to really come to light in the last couple of years, but we're a very theatric live band, and I really like the idea that the releases, when we put out like a body of work, that is it's an era, and it's something that we can create everything that we want to do around. And I think that we really explored that with this EP, and you know the outfits that we have in our promo shots, not to spoil the fun, but they are the live outfits that we will play. I mean, earlier on, I got the bloody the bass drum head with the iconography. Yeah. Like,
oh, you've got to send me that.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. Everything is tied in to the release, and we've not. And Garden was kind of where we started to explore that and having the imagery be related to the record, but we're really pushing it on this. And I think there was so much that could have come out of this EP. We could have dropped an EP and gone, here's the vinyl, play a couple of shows of it, and then we'll just like we'll pop onto the album. But I think this body of work is so important to the band and what the band is and what the band will then go on to do, that it just made so much sense to be like, let's basically treat an EP like an album, and let's give it the same amount of push behind it that we would. And you know, also this being our first release in, I mean, a couple of singles in the split were independent, but this is our first body of release as an independent band, and because there was no parameters to it, there's no contract that says it has to be a certain amount of songs and a certain length, and there's no contract that says, you know, you have to do X, Y, and Z. We were complete. I mean, it's funny because we started it being like, oh, we are completely on our own, and now it's like, we are completely on our own.
Yeah.
Like, and we get to be the decision makers. And I think that when, as Harry said, the album is 90% done, and I think when the time is right for the album to come out, the album will come out. But I think for now we wanna enjoy this and make this really what it is. And you know, I mean, kicking it off with touring with Hers Collective and Conjurer is not the worst way that you could start a campaign at all.
And this album is, to me, sorry, the EP album, whatever you call it, it's very much like a palate cleanser. I think it's like the lemon sorbet between, like, you know, the
yeah.
You know, just in a way that, like, not that I'd forgotten about you, but this pop up, I was like, oh shit, goals they've written up, like, and I think as well with the the label, or
Hmm.
not just the label you were on, but labels in
Hmm.
general. I think,
Hmm.
they're long gone the times of where they pay for your
Yeah.
limousine and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
most of
they're
it
so
now,
long gone.
yeah, like I think most of it now is basically saying we'll print the first 500 records. Once we get
Yeah.
money back, you make so much on the back of them.
Yeah.
That's it now. So I think like
Yeah.
there are pros and cons, but I think from
Yeah.
and again, me looking in from a
Hmm.
musician's point of view, and the fact that you have creative control of it all, and you can
Yeah.
just say, do you know what? Let's just leave it for a week or 2 weeks. Come
Hmm.
back to it. Must be a bit of a nicety.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think that it's and I don't bring it up as a chastisement, but are you saying kind of the idea of had forgotten, I think kind of felt like the place where we were a little bit, and we play a lot of shows and we have toured in the last, I mean, really since Garden came out, we've toured a lot. We the since the beginning of the July is I think the first time that we've had off like a serious amount of time off from playing in shows in I can't even think how long. And I think there's an ebb and flow of it, which is sometimes the live needs a lot of love.
Yeah,
And the live we need to do loads of stuff in that. And sometimes the music needs a lot of love. And being it back almost it's shifting back into that position of the music needed a lot of love and we needed to put a body of work out that we really backed. And as Harry said earlier on in the call, we spent a lot of time talking about our relationship with Garden as a record, and I think we were both in the mindset that we wanted to bring something new onto the table and we wanted to have something that we were really proud of, that we were pushing. And it wasn't, you were seeing Death Goers because they're in town. It's you're seeing Death Goers because you fuck with the new EP heavy and you want to see us perform it live. And, being able to go into that knowing we had full creative control and everything we were going to do was going to be on our terms. Harry has been, and I'm going to blow the smoke up your ass here, but Harry has been unreal in everything that we've done from from having the idea of a triangle as artwork to we are sat on a call talking about a body of work that we are the proudest we have been of anything we've put out has come from Harry just having a fucking amazingly strange brain for music and being willing to listen to I was gonna say amazingly strange, but that sounds big-headed. My strange head for music, my bald head for music at that. Yeah. and it's been so awesome to almost it sounds weird because we're a two-piece, but to work on the project really together
Mm.
and it be a case of
We're 100% the most collaborative. Like
yeah,
every
yeah,
Wednesday round, ours. What have you got? What have
yeah,
we got? I've got this idea.
yeah,
Okay, well, that's
yeah.
You were very good at editing and placing. Going well. Let's
Hmm.
try that needs to be shorter.
Hmm.
That needs to be this. Like
Hmm.
it is the most collaborative we've
Yeah,
really ever been. Because the only time we've ever been collaborative in like a writing sense was during Garden. And that
yeah,
was really the first time we'd ever done it properly. Like,
yeah. We'd already put an album out by that point.
and that I think that fed into the like. I think we had a lot of issues in writing that where we
Yeah.
weren't able to communicate with each other properly, and we
Hmm.
weren't able to sort of have that openness. Whereas in this, it was quite. It wasn't easy. Obviously, there were
No.
points where we were just going, "Well, why the fuck isn't this working? I don't know. Well, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
yeah,
home."
yeah,
Like it was, but we were able to have those
yeah,
conversations and working through like lyrics together and having
yeah,
that
yeah,
like yeah, the collaboration has just made this so much
yeah.
better. It
And I
really
and
is the best stuff we've put out.
and I think that's why it needed to be an EP and not an album. The album, I mean, to be honest, actually, and
this is where
not
we were
trying to
writing
say
both
too
at the
much.
same time.
Yeah, we're pretty much writing both at the same time, and because I think when we knew that we were going to put an EP out before we were going to drop another album, it was like we could use the writing sessions that this EP came from as a if we wrote something and we weren't really happy with a direction that it was taking. It didn't feel like a waste because it was like, well, it's fine because we've got this record and we're just going to put together a bunch of songs for it. And then the EP came out of that, and then all of a sudden we got to it and we're like, oh shit, we've written the EP and a record, and now because we have the options, we can give the EP loads of love because we're not sat on 13 songs going,
Yeah.
oh my God, I don't know if this is enough if these are all good enough to be an album. But if we throw away a bunch of songs, does that mean we're making an EP because we don't have enough good songs for an album? And it's like being able to say, actually, no, this EP is good because it works in the confinements of what the EP is.
Well, I will also add, not giving stuff away for album, but
Yeah.
this Survival was a really good exercise in using up flavors, using up ingredients. We'll go back to the food analogy. You look at the fridge and going, well, I've got loads of like breakdowns that I haven't used, and loads of like blast bits and like really heavy stuff that I need to use up before it goes off. Because we knew, or we sort of started writing the next LP with ideas of stuff we didn't want to include, things that we were like, not saying that there isn't breakdowns and
obviously,
but we were looking at it going, okay, well, if we want to do this and we can focus all of my super gnarly stuff into this, that's cool. And now I've got like a clean palette sorbet to go into this new stuff and use new flavors and use new stuff. It's with the filter, but it's a very different cake we've made, but it's very delicious.
It's very delicious.
And that's the end of the interview. That just rounds it up. I mean, Harry's recipe will be on BBC Good Cooks tomorrow.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mostly those like shiny silver balls. You like that?
Yeah.
Mostly that in like chocolate fudge icing. It's real good.
I should just clarify as well because it's been sitting like. It wasn't the fact that I'd forgotten about you gone away. It was more the fact that I'm in Ireland, so
yeah.
How much traffic coming through here, but also the promos we get is just garden. It's just so when like yours came up, it it was no offense because otherwise
no, none taken. I mean that's the issue with doing like singles and stuff in this day. They're released and then they are gone from the Spotify.
That's actually
and all of that sort of stuff. So like,
and that's such a good point.
Unless you're like seeing us live, you kind of do.
Yeah.
When with the algorithm and like all of this stuff, like your shit just gets buried. Especially because I mean, we also talk loads about Palestine. We also talk loads about atrocities going in the world. So loves to bury that stuff.
Yeah. And also like to come in it from the music industry, I guess, kind of side of things. I think when going back to your question about EPs and albums, generally speaking, the state of the industry now wants an album, but they want 6 singles out before the album drops. And it's like,
that's why you drop an EP of 5 songs. So
why don't you drop an EP of 5 songs and then you've got the whole thing out? Like that just seems to make so much more sense. And we, again, in the way that we've approached the rollout of this EP, it has been from the perspective of, well, let's do it like an album rollout. Let's actually make such a fuss, and where we've sat and we've talked about our absolutely incredible friend Kate, who it would be remiss to not give a shout out here to. We've sat with them and we've talked about, I mean, definitely Harry and Kate more so because the creative side ain't really my juice, but we've sat and we've talked about all of the intricate things that probably label execs sit in their big swanky offices and talk about, but we've talked about them on the grounds of, well, how do we do that? How do we make sure that we do that? But not only are we going to do it, we're going to do it better. We're going to make sure that it's actually watertight and make sure that even the tiniest things, I guess it's almost like a world building exercise. We want people to look at this EP when it's out I want people to look at this in 6 months' time and go, oh, they created a whole a thing, a world, if you will, where people can come into this. When people come to the shows, the reason that the shows are now going to have such a succinct, the iconography is on the stage on us, is because we want to create that, we want to make that a thing. And that is, Death Goals is a live band first and foremost, and we've done so much work to create a reputation of you have to see us live, that the music of the EP and the rollout of the EP needs to create the same atmosphere and the same vibe as when you watch us in a tiny, sweaty room. And being able to link those two things together it's been difficult. The lay of the land as bands. I mean, we all probably say it in passing to each other, but it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. The reach that you used to be able to get doing what a band would like to normally
doing
do.
like the most minimum effort stuff.
Yeah, it's
I was saying to you at the beginning about like
gone.
being a content creator now. Like I've spent all week making like rough TikToks and bits and bobs just so we have stuff to keep.
Yeah.
feeding.
Yeah. And within that, it's like, so you have to make the content, you have to serve the social media gods. Well, how do you do that in a way that is actually engaging? Okay, that Harry has the perfect ideas for this, because it's not based in what are all the hardcore bands doing. It's not based in what does this label exec think is the tick box exercise. It's based in, we are two people who love what we do, and we love this environment and this world that we're creating around this. So let's pull inspiration from things that are not in the status quo. Let's make this exciting. I was going to use the word vibrant. I don't think that's the right word, but we are a queer band, and we wear that on our sleeves. And so much of the thing that I enjoy about being a queer person is that I think it opens up a creative license to get to be something that people tell you normally you can't do. So that has to translate across everything. That has to translate across the TikTok content. It has to translate across what the press release looks like. It has to translate across, if you go on our bloody link fire, the fact that all the buttons are the same design. Like, it has to build this world, because in an EP campaign, you don't get that. And even in an album campaign, you might get half, because at the end of the day, the only thing that's really important when you're working in the industry, looking at it from an industry perspective, is numbers. And that's so boring. And I say this as someone who does this as my job, but it's so
the music
boring.
Industry.
Yeah, it's so unbelievably monotonous, and it takes away bands wanting to do this because they give a shit about doing it. Because as soon as you make an album and someone who's never picked up a guitar in their life turns around to you and goes, it hasn't sold enough copies, you go, you make the album then. You make the damn album, and then I'll put it out and I'll tell you haven't sold enough copies. Like, what right do you get to do that to any artist? There's none. And that is the way that the industry is constantly going. And I mean, I will have to hold off and say too much, because I could be here for days on it. But I think that it really helped to craft what we've done with this EP, and the way that everything looks and the way that everything comes together, because the industry is shit, so we might as well do something that is fun for us.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's like, do you know, I find the most engaging ones, and sorry, I have one more question after this is
of course.
payment, but the most engaging social media posts I see from like bands is ones who don't take themselves too seriously. You know, you have like all these hardcore bands where they're like absolutely strapped, and they're like, you know, whereas I think
Harry had to teach. Harry definitely had to teach me that. I think probably like early into the Garden era, and like because I'd write the captions for the Instagram posts, and it would be like reading a book. It would be, you know, we are doing this full stop, and it's it just wasn't. It's not
Just like
engaging. It's
showing off
not.
that you know a lot of words, and people
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to read that. They want to have a little bit of fun once in a while, and read a quick
yeah,
comment, and then go move on. It's very
yeah,
easy.
yeah. And then once we got into that realm of, oh, the socials actually look fun and they look engaging for us, like it. I mean, we're always up against the social media gods because, like Harry said, we talk about Palestine and we talk about atrocities around the world, but it looks fun. It's
Mm.
exciting. I don't use TikTok. The only reason I go onto TikTok is to watch the Deaf Girls TikTok because I go on there
Love content.
and I'll see the stuff that Harry's been putting up whilst we're on tour or when we've gone to play a show or in the studio or anything. And obviously I see that. I have memories of it through a particular lens, what I was feeling whilst I was on the tour, how I felt about the studio session was going. And then I watch the fun way that Harry has put it. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Turns out it can
this
be
is
fun
yeah,
sometimes.
it actually can be quite fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that people get to see the fun that we have
Mm.
and get to be a part of that because it goes back to what I was saying about the world building, it and the community that we have very fortunately began to grow around the band and hopefully will continue to do so. It's, we want it to be fun. The music is aggressive and it's, the music is serious and it has a real message, but that doesn't mean that we need to be constantly sad or angry or serious on social
A
media.
Deaf
It
Gold
means
show
that
is a place for joy as well as it is.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean,
massively.
like I remember seeing you at Arctangent.
Mhm.
God, how many years ago was that? No, it must have been.
Three,
You just
Two,
released
two or
Death.
three.
You just released Death Goals. You just released Garden.
actually Deaf Girls.
I think you
So
just
that would
released God
be
23
yeah. So
23.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Fucking hell.
And that was
Mild.
in the. Is it the third town?
PX.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
PX3. Yeah.
I just remember like myself and Venny, who does the show,
Mhm.
just being in the pit, and then Harry coming running down and wearing a wedding dress or something like that.
Yeah.
Just, that's what
Sick.
It was
music's
the
about.
dress from the album from the album
Sorry,
cover.
I don't.
It's
No,
a dress. It's a dress.
It's not just a dress, it's the dress.
sorry,
The
it
dress.
was. I couldn't see that. I was quite drunk now.
Yeah.
I could play that card.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no, like that's the whole point of like there are bands who are serious, like fair enough, but there's also
Yeah.
like you guys who just are a band who you can enjoy from start to finish. It's going to be full of
Yeah.
energy, and you like you obviously take the music seriously, but as
Mhm.
individuals or as a collective band, like
Yeah,
for
it's
example, running through the crowd, you
mhm.
obviously don't take yourselves that seriously. Where
Yeah, because
and
it's
that
fun.
exactly, and that's the whole point, isn't it? Like no one wants to go
Yeah.
see a band standing there for like half an hour just stood still, like which ironically is most of the bands on Tangent, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is it. Like, we have spent. I think this energy has always been a thing since I joined Death Goals, which was 5, 6 years ago now, something like that. Something like that. The energy has always been there, and I mean, even I remember seeing Death Goals way back when I didn't have anything to do with the band and being just overly enamored with Harry's performance in it. But it has definitely, the more that we have toured, it has definitely ramped up how much we put into the live shows because we we've played shows, we've played festivals where, yeah, at the end of the day, we're about two people. We on paper, we should not step up a level above a lot of the bands that we are lucky enough to share lineups with. And again, this is no slight to those bands, but it is our intention as a band that if we play a show, we're going to be the best band on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to make people move. It doesn't matter if we're the first band or the headline band. People are going to move in the same way, and it is commanded through, I think, the presence that we have through years now of touring. We have managed to
I
curate.
see it straight up as a competition.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'm competitive in that, like, once again, not to throw like shade at anyone, there's very few times where I'm like nervous about following a band. But when there is a band that we're following or we're on before, where I'm like, I know they're fucking good, it makes me want to be better.
Yeah.
I think that element of like, it's all fun and larks, but we do take this seriously. We want to put on a good show. We want to perform and do our best thing. I think
that's the way it should be as well. Like,
100%.
you go and being
100%.
like, oh, we're just going to step out and just play this song.
So a quick tell. I realize we're running long, but like, we just did this tour with Stormo, which was like amazing.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Like an amazing tour. On that tour, there was one show where was it Ostrava?
Yeah, I think so. I think Ostrava.
Where it was the first time we have ever so slightly phoned it in. I've been doing this band since 2017. I have never phoned in a show in my life. But we went, this is clearly not going to be a show which is working.
Really?
We're going to cut those two songs and we're just going to play fast. I'm going to do minimal talking and we'll just get in and out and go.
Yeah. Because it's at the end of the day, like, you know.
That was for our own mental well-being of being like, we're already completely burnt.
Oh, okay. Right.
If we can spend just like, fuck it. This is a show that is I'll say it, very poorly attended. And it was just like, okay, no one is going to remember this. And we still fucking gave it our all. But we were like, right, the bit where I like improvise noise and run around the crowd, let's not do that. Let's cut this thing and we'll just play like a fast and quick set. And but that's the most like phoned in set we've ever done. We've never been at a gig, big, small, or whatever, with whatever talent. I've gone, can you be harsh? We're just like fucking
Well, I think also like there's the element that, you know, we are competitive, that we want to be the band that everyone remembers from the show, regardless of where we are in the lineup. But there's also the element of it of, we're just grateful to be doing this. We're just grateful to be able to, you know, it is, from everything we've talked about in this call, when you actually look at it, it is a pretty impressive feat that two queer people have been able to go out and play in a lot of places where it is pretty fucking frowned upon to be a queer person. And we've gone out and we've not only done that, we've gone out and absolutely kicked ass with it. And the responses that come from
I've been doing this since 2017. When I started this in 2017, I had no concept of even playing shows outside of London.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
Brighton was a far off land. Scotland wasn't even an idea that I would go to, let alone Bratislava and Italy
and that's it. And at the end of the day, you know, we are two people who love the music we make. We love performing, and we're so grateful that whether someone's come to a show, has bought a ticket to see us, whether they're here for someone else, whether they've come and spoken to us with merch, whether they've even bought merch, you know, any of the parts of us just being there and just existing within the realm that we exist in is massively, is awesome. And there's nothing that I'd rather be doing. So if we are, you know, when you're like 2 weeks into a tour and you just feel like shit, and you're tired, you're hungry, and everything like that. It's like, at the end of the day, on the other side of the stage is people who paid money to come and see you. They've come down to it. I mean, especially in a time when ticket sales are shit and venues are always closing down. The fact that someone has get off of their sofa and has paid a ticket price and has come into a room to see you, that if it's one person, that one person deserves the same set that you give to if it was 500 people. And that is why I think we have managed to get to a point where we are as fucking good as I believe that we are live. It's because no matter what,
also why you should buy tickets to come see us on tour. Let's Collective and Conjurer.
I should have written down
it count
like
if I get
a piece of paper.
If I get guest pass, does that count that you'll play the same show to me, or is that different?
Yeah, of course. No, no, you get a better show if you go and see it first.
You get to sit on a stool in the middle
Oh,
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of
Yeah, this is
of the
actually a new thing
stage.
that we're introducing. I'm actually going to have another drum stool next to my kit from now on. And if you, I'm going to
just
pick
me
one
there. I
person
can
for the
play this
guest
You
like
get to
list.
show George
yeah,
like
sheet music.
well no like Family Guy clips or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Keep him focused.
Honestly, yeah, that would be
Comments on the
great.
face on the TikTok. Look at
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Who's looking at this? Right.
The thing is, though, is when we play the sets, I've actually got a divider in my glasses, and the top half of my glasses is just Family Guy clips. So I can only see the drums and I can never see the crowd. So it doesn't really matter who's in the crowd. I'm only
Doesn't
watching
matter
Family
who's in the
Guy,
crowd.
so
Peter Griffin's always in the crowd.
yeah. If nobody got me, Peter Griffin got me.
So, last question because I don't think I've got a flight to get to Arctangent tomorrow.
Of course.
What's the remainder of the year looking like live wise for you guys? Is there much
Busy.
on?
Hers Collective.
Busy. Yeah.
We're doing a bunch of festivals. We're going back to Poland. We're going back to Brussels.
Yeah.
Then we're supporting City of Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then we go on tour with Conjurer, and then we're done. So
Yeah.
it's been. I mean, say we're done. We've done a massive European tour, and then
Yeah.
quite long tours too. Especially with the Conjurer one, it's like some of the biggest rooms we've ever played. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
Which
really
is
exciting for us.
which is nuts. Yes,
And then
absolutely nuts.
we go on to 2026
2026.
and
2026.
working out what goes on there. Hopefully more tours, slightly less
Mhm.
touring we're planning, but God, I mean, I've literally sent 4 messages to you today where I've been like,
Yeah.
I've spoken to this person about doing a tour and this person and
Yeah.
also that person about doing a tour.
Yeah.
So realistically,
I think
we'll probably be everywhere.
yeah,
Where we're so
there's definitely I think one of the things we've discussed and we've discussed even with like our agent and stuff and said that we're going to have a bit of a quieter year next year. But I think again going back to the EP album stuff, I think we've now gotten ourselves into a position where we are able to take a little bit of time. And if you know we might sit and have this conversation now and then we might spend 6 months on tour of next year and or we might not. And being able to be in a position where we're not uncomfortable about the idea of maybe not taking as much on for a year because who knows what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years of the band is a nice position to be in. And
Yeah.
you know, the things and generally the way that this band operates, the things that we will do and things that we will play will be the things that we want to do and we want to play. And
That's
whether
nice.
that means we're busy, maybe it means we're not busy is you know the secondary to that. And it's nice to be in that position and you know it means that Harry and I can go on actual holidays that are
Yeah.
like okay cool, should we go to a bunch of different countries? That's awesome. Yeah, do you want to sit next to each other the entire time and do you want to smell me for 3 weeks straight? Like and
No holidays
it,
cut it like that anymore.
yeah
It's not the same.
yeah but yeah we'll definitely be doing stuff and the rest of this year. I mean Conjuring Hers is going to be
Nuts.
absolutely nuts and excited to take the new live set out and
Yeah.
try. There's some new things in our live set that will, I mean, obviously said about the outfits and stuff, but there's some new things in our live set that I think is really going to step up what we are able to do and what we can convey. And you know, at the end of the day, it's always going to be about two people doing scrappy, chaotic music, but putting ourselves in a position where we can play that to more people is kind of the
We're
main thing,
elevating,
really.
I think is the
We're
term.
elevating.
We're elevating
Yes.
the Deaf Goals live show.
Yeah.
George is really hyping this up. Harry's sort of sitting back there just going, say that.
No, it's true. We are. It's elevation. We're the
Yeah.
We're still going to be manic and crazy.
Yeah.
We've got
I,
100%.
I would like to think I would
Executed.
catch you on tour at some point, and I will.
Hopefully at some point in next year we'll end up in Ireland. So
This, I mean,
maybe to get
we were meant to this year, and then things got rescheduled, moved around. I would be, not to say this is a confirmation, but I would be amazed if we didn't end up in Ireland. next year, even if we did nothing else.
Well, if you
Well, fuck it,
do,
why not?
I've got a big bed and there's room for the three of us, so you're more than welcome to stay behind.
Perfect, perfect.
Do you
That was
like?
exactly the way that I was really hoping you were going to
Yeah,
end
you
that.
really teed that up nicely, didn't you?
And now we have it on video, so you can't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
no.
I own the master copy, so it's like being in a contract, you know.
Oh, true. Yeah, you just edit it.
I just edit this out.
yeah.
The old edit gag. Okay.
I just
When
change
we
it.
watch it back and it says, "I've got a small bed."
I don't even have a bed.
No, but honestly, that day offer is there 100%. Like you,
Thank you,
obviously,
100%,
obviously
100%.
more than welcome.
Oh yeah,
Guys, look, I mean, we could literally be here all night because
yeah.
it's a great time, but I mean, you've got things to do. I've got to pack.
Good to have.
You got a pack.
Um,
Mm,
but I mean, the album's great, or EP, what you gonna call it.
yeah.
Harry, you got my feelings on it when I sent it to you. I'm sure George has seen it, so
Mm.
yeah, go check guys out on live tour as well because it's an experience, and I look forward to you sliding into my mailbox again with the next
Mhm.
EP or album.
You.
I don't know what you kids say these days. Is it
Definitely not that. I don't think
Slide
anyone
into my mailbox is
Oh,
what I
sorry.
say all the time.
mailbox? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. If we're gonna say this thing, let's get the technology right. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is definitely going to be
I'm going to hit you up on my pager.
But guys, I've been looking forward to this all day. It's great to chat to you.
Glad. Thank you so
It's been a
much.
joy talking, Bab.
I will.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely see each other in the next year. I
100%.
guarantee it.
100%.
But
Enjoy Arctangent.
Have a
thank
great
you.
one.
I will. I'll. Yeah, I will. And to you
Have the best
guys,
time.
lots of love.
See you later.
Love.